really important to protect your walls, your roof, all that from moisture, wind, infiltration, all that. Flashing for windows, all these kind of details are very critical when you're trying to do an eco-friendly home. I'd invited Andrew Visser from GCP Applied Technologies to come. You know him as the Grace guys, to kind of talk to us about some of the options that we have for covering. Again, you know, what kind of wrap system we're going to do for here to keep out the infiltration or underlayment for roofs. So let's go meet him.
Good morning, Dave.
Hey, how you doing, Andrew?
Very good.
Appreciate you coming out and taking the time out of your day to come show us and give us an education about some of these air infiltration barriers and roofing underlayment products that you have out there.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Today we're here to show a relatively new product for residential construction. This has been in existence for a number of years for commercial work where high energy standards are expected. And basically what we will be talking about today are fully adhered products for your wall application. Most of you are all familiar with our Grace Ice and Water Shield. Yes, this is basically a similar product for the wall. It's a fully adhered material, but of course in a northern climate the material has to breathe. So this product has an adhesive backing. It will bond to the wall. It will seal around the fasteners going through it. And of course it makes nice tight laps without using tapes or having to nail the product in place.
Well, awesome, because I'm trying to do this eco-friendly and, you know, very energy efficient home. So infiltration is a big concern of mine. You know, instead of using a traditional house wrap where I use mechanical fasteners and taping and the wind gets underneath it and all that, this sounds really like
exactly. And with the new requirements on a state-by-state level of blower door testing, people are finding out that to get there with traditional loose laid house wraps is difficult to tighten up the houses to the basically air change per hour requirements that are coming to a state near you.
Take a look at the application. You know, I'm glad you showed up here. I mean, does this look like a worthy candidate to use that kind of product that we're talking about?
Absolutely, especially with what you're trying to achieve here. This material, which in fact, let's take a look at it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I never really got a close-up of it, you know.
Well, what I can do, all right, just a tip, if you're working with these products or any products, usually you just open up the box and pull it out from the top. But a good rule is to simply work from the box itself. And you can scroll this material out of here. Now basically what we're doing is we're installing wallpaper on a wall. It's a fully adhered material.
Okay.
It's actually a little easier than working with wallpaper as there's no flowers that you have to match up. All right, so this is the material. I'll show it to you first. It comes in a 450 square foot roll. It's a 42-inch wide material. It's permeable. The permeability of this material is 15. And as we said earlier, in a northern climate, a product that's installed on the wall must breathe to let any moisture built or that develops in the wall to vent outwards. So this is basically what you're dealing with. Now you can actually leave it in the box as you're working with the material. I'm going to install a little bit on a wall right here just to give you an idea how you would work with the product. It can be installed horizontally or vertically. The laps will remain the same regardless. It is basically a giant roll of tape that breathes. And as I said earlier, it also seals around the nail. Let's pretend you're installing a vinyl siding which you hang loose. Traditional wraps will likely move on the nail with the vinyl siding. This product, which seals to the wall, also seals around the fastener so that you know you're getting a complete tight air seal around that building while again importantly breathing. Now some people say, well, what if we just tape all the joints? If you just tape the joints, chances are you're using a vapor impermeable tape on these joints, and that allows for that.
Yeah, I was thinking about using, you know, a taped originally when I was talking to the engineer, and unfortunately this is a great product. Look at that again, great.
Exactly.
But you know, I have tons of this and we use it for flashing all over the place. And we had envisioned that we were going to tape all the plywood seams, but after talking to you, you said, well, that's good. but you're also blocking moisture from getting out at those spots. So where this product lends itself where the whole thing breathes. Now again,
Correct.
you get some openings, you get moisture. We need to off gas again. In the winter time, it's drier outside, more moist inside. It's going to come through.
Correct. All right, well, let's install a little piece here. We'll just do a section of wall just to give you an idea of how we work with the product. So I'll just, it cuts nice with a knife. And what I'm going to do is the material actually comes with a split release. And I'm going to demonstrate doing actually a vertical installation.
Okay.
You may install it horizontally or vertically. All right. Now, if you have a whole row of windows, it might make more sense to run this way. In that case, you're better off with two guys because it is a fairly aggressive material. For vertical, it really is quite simple. It comes with a split release in the center of the product, all right? So again, this is a giant roll of tape, and it's going to be 100% bonded to this wall, but it breathes. Again, critical for our clients. Now, as for a quick installation, what I will do is peel it back just enough so that I can get it adhered on top. Now, let's say I had another sheet right next to me. Now, what you'll notice is I'm terminating this at the sill of the window, or I'm starting at the sill of the window here, because I need an impermeable product to sit on top of the sill. That would be the Vicor Plus. And it would shed down on this. But basically anywhere where you could end up having water sitting, which would be a horizontal area, you need to go with something that doesn't breathe and that will literally, water can puddle on it and it's never ever going to get through. So what I've done is I've installed it. All right, I'm going to do both sides and get the material into place. Adhesion is good both in warm or colder weather. This is a not really all that temperature sensitive. So once I've got it in place, and we do always recommend rolling it into place.
Okay. Yeah, I have a roller over here. Is that the right kind of roller? Something
Excellent,
like that?
excellent. A roller like this. You don't have to do a lot, but basically any type of adhesive material, you want to just press the adhesives into the substrate, and it really doesn't matter what type of product it is. If it's peel and stick, you want to do a little bit extra, not a whole lot of effort. Once I have this in place, as shown here, I can reach in behind and simply peel back this paper. I can do one side at a time, or if I'm kind of working my way down a ladder, I could be doing both sections at the same time, but you can see how it sort of pulls it right into place.
Yeah, so the vertical does have an advantage there.
So like I said, it's really like installing wallpaper.
If I put my window in, do I want to do that tape behind the windows, like the vapor impermeable stuff, or what was the sequence that we would do when I go to put in a window here? So I assume I have this on all my walls. It's all set.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Very good question, actually. We show multiple details with windows. I think what I'm going to show today is a minimum application that has worked very well here for the last 20 plus years that we've been selling these products. And I'm going to be using a material called Vicor Plus. All right, so here we have a roll of Vicor Plus. This is a 9-inch roll. It's an impermeable product. And so I'm going to use the 9-inch roll because you have a 6-inch wall here. And we don't have any house wrap installed at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece a little wider than the rough opening. And yeah, certainly, why don't you hold that and I'll make a cut. In each of these rolls, there are strings embedded that we actually call a ripcord. And what the ripcord does is it splits the paper and allows me to install part of it, but leave the paper on another portion of it. So the string, in fact the 9-inch, has two strings, one in the center, one slightly offset. All right, and what I'm going to do is basically take my knife. I like to give the paper a little pre-tear. I'm lining it up with the string right here. I will take my knife, simply dig under the string, pinch down with my thumb, and pull up. And now what I've done is I've grabbed this little piece of fishing line, and I'm going to use it simply to tear the paper. All right, so
that's unique. How would I put the window in next? Assume we have the applied, membrane that we have on. You showed us over there, that fully applied thing. We have that on there. We cut it back. We put this to protect the sill. We've done all that. Now I go to mount my window. What would be the next step? Because there's a lot of controversy on here on which way to do it, And so I'm asking really your opinion,
Okay. All right. On our website, we show multiple details, but all of our details, we basically want that window taped over the top of the flange and onto the substrate. All right. We want that completely sealed to eliminate any potential air movement through it. Now, because you're using the NVS, which is again fully adhered tape of its own right, if you had installed it on this wall and it was folded into the rough opening, that's perfectly acceptable because there'll be no air movement behind it because it's fully bonded. Even if you just terminated right at the side, that would be acceptable as well. So basically you will put your window into the rough opening, you know, as they would require. And it's as simple as running a piece of tape from top to bottom and on each side. The top piece should terminate about an inch below the height, the jam piece should terminate around an inch below the size of the roll you're using. Okay. So if you're using a 6-inch roll across the head, you'll want to start maybe 5 inches and just come straight down, and you're on the flange and either on the wood or on our product. Then when the top piece goes across, it's going to run straight across. You'll want to go slightly beyond the side pieces just to avoid uphill lats with the material.
Yeah, that's some great information you gave, Andrew. If some people want to follow up and get more details on flashing and this fully adhered membrane, where would they go?
Our website, GCP website, is gcpat or gcpat.com, and you will see a number of details, excellent articles on advanced construction practices, which has really been a great specialty for many, many decades. Yeah. Thanks for having me out here, and beautiful project you've got going here.
Right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you,
Thanks
David.
again. Yeah. Appreciate it. That was awesome. Andrew gave us some great information here. You know, really, I was totally confused about flashing of windows and all these different ways of putting these house wrap and membranes on. And I think we kind of demystified it today. You know, we have a direction now. We know how we're going to be able to protect this, not only from air filtration, but from the elements, especially the system that we're using here with this outboard insulation. This is really going to work out well. So stay tuned. We got a lot more information for you. Visit our website. It's greencomforthome.com for the blog. And, if you have some information or come across a job that you're doing or some good input, we'd really look forward to it. So thanks again.